All right, you guys have asked, and so we are going to answer how to make a promotional video.
There are 3 easy keys to making a great video we're going to talk about right now. Okay, talking about how to make a promotional video. Why are we talking about this?
Because even if we're just talking about YouTube videos and videos for our YouTube channel, we eventually want them to go to our website where we're going to have a promo video.
So this isn't exactly a video that's going to be on our channel. This is one that's promoting to drive traffic to our channel?
This is a video that promotes a product or service that we're selling. So we're talking about a real commercial here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
Three ingredients.
Okay.
That if you include these ingredients, most of the time it's a pretty good promotional video, good compelling emotional message. So I've got my MacBook here. We're going to show you an example and kind of discuss, show you examples of the 3 ingredients. So let me tell you what the 3 ingredients are first.
Please.
We want to include B-roll. We'll discuss what B-roll is and why. We want to include testimonials, and then we want to include some music. So let's talk about what B-roll is. We'll show some examples. What would you say B-roll is?
B-roll is the footage that you record that is not principal photography, meaning it's not necessarily the subject who's talking or doing the main action. It's other things that you can put voice over.
Yeah, so it's not the main track.
It's not the main focus. That's right. If you're in an editing context, it's not the main track. It's the stuff that you lay over it that makes for a prettier overall story. Mm-hmm. You know, so you're not just stuck on 2 guys. If we were to cut to B-roll now, what would we show? Well, we were going to show you right now. Here's our B-roll. Unless you don't go to the computer, in which case I've just messed that up.
In that case you're just laughing.
But this is an example of live B-roll right here. We're going to show you something on the MacBook, and we're going to be talking over it. It's not showing us; it's showing that, and that's kind of the easiest.
We'd be the main track, and what we're going to show you is the B track or the B-roll. So in the case of this video that we'll show, this is an event. And I went and I filmed, and the footage that we're seeing right here, let me just play a moment of it.
This is my 3rd.
Okay, so in just what we've seen so far, we saw some B-roll of Tiffany walking up on the stage. That was me following her with the glide cam. Mm-hmm. But we didn't hear what was going on. That wasn't the main track. We heard some music playing in the background, and now we see Michelle. And Michelle, she's talking. This is the main track, and watch what happens in a minute while we're still hearing from Michelle.
Here at Elevation, and I wouldn't miss it. It's one of my favorite events of the year. It brings together all of the things that I love.
So we were still hearing Michelle's voice from that main track, but we went back to a different shot of B-roll. This was during one of their breaks. They turned on some music, encouraged some dancing, I guess. You see all the ladies that were attending this event, and I was going around just getting some B-roll footage. So when I talk about B-roll, hopefully this is a little bit more clear of what B-roll is. You want a lot of footage that shows the person, like in this case, this is an event that we're promoting. So I wanted to show what the event was like, and I got a lot of B-roll footage of Tiffany up on stage that really would showcase and really add to it. And then the main content of the video is I got a lot of testimonials. So imagine what the video would be like if I just had testimonial after testimonial and I didn't have any B-roll. Mm-hmm. I mean, it might be a good video, but it wouldn't be as good as this. It wouldn't be. I would call this
it's a lot more interesting when you have B-roll and extra footage to cut away to. You also can cover up little edit breaks and funny things that might happen when the person's talking. You might have someone giving a testimonial who suddenly has an itch or needs to pick or whatever, and you don't want to see that, but she's saying something so golden that you want to keep that dialogue. So you'd cut away to pretty ladies dancing, for example.
Oh, sorry. Hopefully they use B-roll while I was
Hopefully
picking my
they're
nose.
covering up his nose pick. Now, you talked about music, too, because obviously we were listening to some music on here, which adds another little element, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. So I'll talk about music, and then I do want to go back a little bit more to talk about how to get good testimonials. So for music, there's several websites that you can go to buy music that you have rights to use. Mm-hmm. One of them I'll just mention is pond5.com. Go check them out. The reason I like that site, Audio Jungle is another one that has this feature I'm going to describe. You'll pull up all these different audio samples laid out in a grid on the screen, and you can hover your mouse over it and it will start to play automatically.
Nice.
So you'll hear the music, and then you'll just hover over this one and it will play, and hover it. And so I might have the video in its rough form playing, I have 2 screens on when I'm
Sure,
editing.
yeah.
So I'll have the rough edited version without the music. I'll have that playing, so I'll have it in my ears and my headphones, and then I'll just hover over the different music tracks, and I'm like, ooh, this one really matches
the mood and
yeah. And it's interesting how one music track I might love for one video, but I'll try that one again for a different video. I was like, let's keep looking.
And does Pond 5 do like a subscription rate, or is it per use, or how do you?
It's per purchase. So you buy that video.
that
It might
track,
be $20.
yeah.
It might be $40. You have access to that track for like multiple uses across
Beautiful,
lots of videos
yeah.
and stuff. For the use on YouTube and whatnot. And same with Audio Jungle. And there's thousands and thousands to choose
Oh,
from
of
that are real
course.
high quality.
Yeah, there's musicians. I know a lot of musicians who sit around all day in their studios and just come up with these music beds that play for all
need to
types of
introduce me.
industrial. Yeah, I've got. There's a couple of in Orem.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, Orem is a town in Utah, which is not far from here.
So I do want to say that the reason I'm recommending something like Pond 5 or Audio Jungle is you can find music tracks that don't have vocals. I mean, imagine if we're trying to play these testimonials, and maybe that's obvious, but in a lot of cases when I say put music in the background, they don't think about, can you get music without vocals? But it's background music. And what this does, when you have this combination of these 3 things, you've got the visual of the B-rolls that enhance these testimonials. Not only are they saying what it was like, but then you see what it was like, and you bring in music. It's an emotionally compelling video. I mean, you watch it and it makes you want to be there. It makes you want to experience it. So these 3 ingredients, this isn't the only way to make a promo video, but it's a formula that I've used many, many times. I've created hundreds of these style videos, both for events and for speakers. Let me just talk about that because it's a different style. For professional speakers or motivational speakers, you want footage of them speaking on the stage, and that can be the main track. But it's really hard a lot of times you don't just want a whole speech. I mean, let's say you've got a 45-minute speech and you want a 3-minute video.
Sure.
It's hard. Maybe you pick out a point or two, but a lot of times it's so easy to use stage footage as B-roll. And imagine if you had, let's say you spoke at the Delta Center, what's it called now? Energy Solutions. You spoke at a big arena, and then you spoke here, and now you're on stage at Hell Center Theater just performing. And you can show a variety and not have to worry about what's he saying here to make it match with
You
this.
don't need continuity. It's just sort of a sizzle reel where you can, and then what you're taking then as the main footage, the A-roll as it were, is the speaker, myself for example, talking into the camera or interview style.
I've done a lot of
having
interview
that
style,
be
yeah.
kind of the main
Exactly.
track. And then all of that other footage just supports the fact that this is a legitimate, professional, well-attended speaker. And then maybe now and then, you let that volume come up and you hear a little bit of the topic that he or she is speaking on, and then it goes away and it fades to the music. Yeah.
And if let's say you speak on TEDx and we happen to show 3 seconds
Yeah.
of you on a stage with the TEDx logo there, or if you're speaking at a well-known company like,
IBM
Apple,
or
IBM,
whatever, yeah.
and you see that, and it's like, ooh, he spoke at IBM.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, but those 3 ingredients really make an emotionally compelling video. So I have a challenge for you. I challenge you to go and try this. Make a promo video with these 3 ingredients, and I bet you'll be surprised how good it turns out.
Yeah, it's a fairly simple concept, and you might have even accidentally used 1 or 2 of them, but to put them all together, that's the ticket.
The B-roll is actually, that's the one that's pretty foreign. People don't even think of using video clips without the
They
audio.
just put music.
Yeah, they'll switch back and forth.
It'll instantly look that much more professional. Yeah.
And then if you've watched this long, you're at the end of the video, make sure you subscribe because you obviously liked it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next video.